The most recent episodes of the Rising of the Shield Hero saw the four Cardinal heroes reunite, momentarily put aside their differences, and work together to defeat the Pope and leader of the Church of the Three Heroes. But besides showing human struggle, introducing Bitchy's mom, aka Best Respectable Royal Woman, and challenging each person to confront their own demons and hubris by pushing them to truly embody heroism, this fight also asks the question, can we become God? I say God here as this is what the Pope with his legion of devout followers and powerful weapon truly believes he has attained. But in asking if humans can transcend the divine, this also includes nature, law, the natural order of this isekai world, as well as the notion that prophecy can be ignored and one can assume the position of the four cardinal heroes. The Pope or High Priest, leader of the Church of the Three Heroes, believes exactly this when he calls out the cardinal heroes. Through this absolute savage moment of Naofumi roasting everyone, we see how these spear, sword, and bow have not done their duty and have actually brought disaster, disease, and injustice to the world. By the way, this is one example of where Naofumi was way more savage in the anime than he was in the manga, as it's actually the Pope that does most of the chastising here. I encourage you guys to check out the manga because it paints characters in a different light. I find that Naofumi is harsher and a bit more savage, which I enjoy. To the church leader, if the cardinal heroes are too busy squabbling and neglecting their duties, then he can lead his people to fight the waves. We don't need the heroes. We can be the heroes. We can be prophecy. We can be God. Although the Pope is actually leading a rebellion against the kingdom and the heroes in God's name, and justifying his violence as simply purifying evil like the shield demon, he's got a valid point. If you want a deep dive into the Church of the Three Heroes and the philosophy behind cults, check out this video here. But the important thing to note is that the heroes are not acting properly, and he's offering a solution. Do we need heroes? Especially if they're not doing their job. I've always questioned this aspect of the isekai world that the Rising of the Shield Hero presents. The people know of the waves. It has been a reoccurring phenomenon for centuries, and thanks to Filial Queen Victoria, we know the heroes have fought with each other in the past. We even know that the shield hero has been the one mistreated in the past. So given all this, why have the people relied on the heroes so much? Why not just fight for themselves? As One Punch Man says, why not get strong? The answer, as one would assume, is the legendary weapons and the absolute power they afford the heroes have always been the best and really only solution to the waves. But now that the Pope and his followers are powerful, the notion that people no longer need to rely on heroes so much as they need to fend for themselves and have strong adventurers or groups like the Church is rather apparent. The notion that the prophecy of the four cardinal heroes, which has been the moral bedrock of the society for centuries, begins to crumble when the heroes are questioned and other options become available. Perhaps we can understand this degradation of prophecy and moral foundation in Shield Hero, as well as the concept of assuming the divine, not by asking, can we become God or heroes, but rather, how do we replace them? German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche posed this exact question when he uttered some of the most famous, yet misunderstood words. God is dead. God remains dead, and we have killed him. How shall we comfort ourselves, the murderers of all murderers? Is not the greatness of this deed too great for us? Must we ourselves not become gods simply to appear worthy of it? After scientific and technological innovation enlightened humanity to the fact that we are not at the center of the universe, and truth doesn't necessarily stem from a higher power, it could stem from a YouTube channel though. The moral foundation of Western society, along with people's senses of meaning or purpose, was swiftly challenged. Contrary to what your fedora-tipping neck-bearded friend might say, Nietzsche wasn't shouting this from the rooftops and happily exclaiming God is dead. He was seriously concerned about the death of the divine. He was asking, how do we go on as a society and race without this moral foundation? It's a problem that many could argue due to the events of the last century still hasn't fully been solved. But I mean, maybe if the Pope is powerful and heroic, he might be able to ditch the cardinal heroes, right? Well, if he was actually powerful and heroic. Unlike our friend Nietzsche, the Pope is exclaiming this. The heroes are dead, and I have killed them, even calling Naofumi and the others living corpses, as he and the church are offering this alternative way to humanity. But much like how vain desires of wealth, fame, and power can't replace meaning and purpose, the church and its followers have not replaced anyone, but have merely become replica heroes. The Pope even uses a fake legendary weapon with power derived from sacrifice, which, if you ask me, that's truly a cheat code in this world. With the assumption of this role, justifying it with God, the Pope seeks to be worshipped as God and have all the glory without any of the sacrifice, morality, and meaning that a hero brings to the world. But that's not what true heroism is. Heroes must learn their place as one of duty and not prestige or accolades. In seeing a fake hero, and you know, having Naofumi brilliantly call the three heroes out on their BS, Ren, Itsuki, and Motoyasu realize that they must also strive to embody a hero and live in reality, not a game with simple boss fights and endless rewards. Naofumi and crew have been on the road leveling up, gaining real experience, and this combined with Naofumi conquering his own personal struggles, which were mostly caused by the three dunces and the church in the first place, make him a true hero. In the Pope and the church trying to re-sew the moral fabric of society, they leave their stitches incomplete by forgetting to intertwine the all-important thread of meaning. Being a hero means sacrificing oneself and embracing your mission in the world, not giving followers a false sense of security and proclaiming you are God. Unlike the three idiots and the Pope, Naofumi finds meaning through embracing his mission as a hero and not by seeking rewards, even if this means embracing the dark side to save people. Nietzsche wondered, how do we replace God, or in this case heroes, and there is no way to replace them, because without the prophecy or the cardinal heroes, society loses its meaning. What could have a greater purpose than a hero, or for the people to help the heroes defeat the waves? What could have more meaning than assuming one's destiny to save the world? There has never been a time when the four heroes were not fighting the waves, when the prophecy wasn't guiding Melromarc and the other nations against calamity. Without these brave warriors, the world is certainly in trouble, and just like Nietzsche said, society certainly falls into disaster without this belief. This isn't to say that the prophecy has been perfect. Just as our own religious institutions are sometimes twisted and corrupted, the four cardinal heroes are no exception. Corruption, infighting, and perhaps even false accusations driving out the shield hero have happened countless times before, and have divided the heroes, shaking society's belief and putting the world in danger. But just because something is flawed, doesn't mean we should readily abandon it. Also, most of the corruption and doubt cast on the cardinal heroes and moral foundation of this isekai society is a direct result of the church's lies and schemes of one evil Princess Biatch. I never get tired of saying that. The lesson here is that, despite our human flaws, our moral foundation is still a very important bedrock to build society upon. And even though some of its truths may be challenged and even corrupted, it still has a lot of good. We shouldn't readily abandon it, because if we do, humanity is left crumbling in its search for meaning. While the heroes may succumb to human distortion, and we'd all love to replace some of them, Motoyasu, the four cardinal heroes are the true heroes. The righteous always emerge victorious over the corrupt. Naofumi isn't the shield demon, he's the Tate no savior. And through this, society preserves its meaning. And if you don't like this prophecy or moral foundation, you'll just have to deal with it. As always, thanks for watching. Comment below, can anyone truly replace the heroes? And what do you think about Best Royal Women? If you'd like to get on her good side or want to see more Rising of the Shield Hero content, consider joining my adventure party by subscribing. And until next time, see ya.